Welcome back to In His Mind. I want to say I'm sitting outside a Bible study here where I'm at currently, and talk about depression hitting you hard. It's not fun. I hate it. I'm labeling this one as hope, and it's a slight recap as far as what we cover today because it's important for someone who, or for anyone who is struggling with depression, loneliness, sadness. This is going to be for you. This isn't going to be very long. It's some important things that I want to recap just because I don't want to lose these memories. What happened in the Bible study group, which it started off by playing a video and going over some verses over Lazarus that Jesus raised up from the grave. And there's a couple things to point out there, not just simply the story, and I will bring it up real quick. I think it was John 11. I'm going to re-verify real quick. So the whole entire chapter, let's see where it starts at. Let's go to the beginning. Yes, John 11, or in the book of John, chapter 11, the death and resurrection of Lazarus. The entire story is there, and it's really, let's just say John is one of the most covered books of the Bible for a reason. And it's not that it's not important, it's the fact that I want to highlight something here. Death is not the end. Being broken and going through pain and loss is not the end. Looking back at what we've overcome, looking forward to the future. And as I've noted, or rather, yes, I noted and I told others, one of the things that's interesting when you take a look at why Jesus needed to die for us wasn't just simply for us. He was in a physical body. When he died, and I will repeat what other people have said as far as they believe he went down to free some of the captives that were there waiting a savior. Because before Jesus came along, people were waiting under the hope and promise of a savior, a redeemer, the Christ. And for Jesus to come back, his body was changed. There was that divine, I think there was always a divine presence, but his body ended up undergoing changes from what I understand. And this is incredibly important because death is not the end. The resurrection, that it needs to take place for there to be something better than what is currently existing. I have to remind myself of promises, memories. I have to encourage myself. Kind of like when David in the Bible was being chased by King Saul repeatedly and with multiple attempts on his life. It's hard because I have to encourage myself. I have to bring myself up from my base state, which I think is depression. Seeing reality, seeing loss, going through pain, seeing things fail left and right. It's hard. It takes its toll. Or just simply not seeing success. I want to say it's a combination of all this. My inability to see some things is also needing to be mentioned here. You know, like everyone has trouble looking at their own life, but they can look at other people perfectly fine and be like, this is what I see, this is what you're missing, this is what's going well, etc., etc. We've lost a lot of hope as a country here in the U.S. Many people are being divided. We're not thankful. We're not looking forward to what will come. At least not with joy, not with hope, but with fear, with sadness, depression, anxiety. And as a whole, Christianity is a focus on a Savior that will come back, take us to a better place one day from now. Now, I personally think that time it's not noticed when we sleep, or, when we pass away, when when our time has come. I think once that happens, a lot of things will be moving into play. And who knows what will happen, whether we sleep and then wake up as if no time had passed on by, or if our spirits go directly to heaven. We don't really know as far as that goes. But living with hope for a better tomorrow, a promise of something better, is what a lot of people is what they believe, and what they put their life on the line for that. Christians are one of the very few people that will ever die for what they believe in. Not the only, but definitely one of the ones that they believe so strongly, they're going to bet their life on it. And honestly, we don't have much to lose as far as that goes. We really don't. And you know what? In the end, it is a personal relationship, so it'll only matter to the individuals who believe and how we live our life. I think as a whole, we are expected to mess up, fail, break, change, struggle. Like, there's a lot of hardships that we go through, and a lot of trauma, baggage, loss, and scars that are accumulated. Like, I think God takes that into account with a lot of this. Which also explains some of the verses talking about how God will never, He'll make a way for us to escape, and He'll never put more burdens on us than what we can bear. We do a lot of self-sabotaging, self-hurting, self-deprecation, and we do a lot of this stuff and put it on our own shoulders. It's hard, I know. I go through a lot of things every day. And I'm still here. That's one of my catchphrases. I'm still here. I'm not giving up. But I can't always fight every single day either. Alright, until next time. I want this to be more encouraging, show a little bit of fight, and help encourage others to be able to look up, to look out, and to be able to get back on their feet and moving again. And that takes time. It takes time, takes effort. Sometimes it takes people like me to step up and say, I made it, this worked for me, this may help you out, I want to see you succeed, I want to see you go and make something of your life. I want to see what you do next. Not to be impressed, not for any personal reasons, but I want to see what you can do. I want to see how far you can go, what you can change, the people who you are able to impact. All of this stuff matters. It's just not going to be understood how it matters in some ways. We're limited in what we can see. We're limited in what we can understand. And as I point out to others, I honestly believe there are different walls and levels for us, and that we're going to eventually stop here and be like, we're good. We don't want to go any farther because we're starting to get worried and alarmed at what we know. And here's a very good example. When you find out your kids or family member, someone you care about, has a terminal illness and they have 9 months to live, and you're just like, it's eating at you. You wish you didn't know. And now you know, and you're sitting here because you can't do a thing. Or rather, you're sitting here twiddling your thumbs because you can't do a thing. This stuff is hard. I do not take credit for this. There's someone else in a comment that I think I posted about it before, about how love untested is worthless. Faith untested is worthless. It has no value. It's not been tried. It's not been tested. In that sense, there's a lack of experience and a lack of this matters, this means something. We need a little bit of testing. We need that these challenges to test us to see what we're made of, who we are, what we're going to do, and then see what we can do to improve from there on out. Failure is not always, oops, I made a mistake. Sometimes failure is not making any decision at all. being paralyzed with fear, it's natural, it's normal, but it happens more frequently than you realize. All right, until next time. I hope this was encouraging. I'm hit hard. This whole thing hit me pretty hard, man. All right, take it easy.